All right, folks, Eric Gephardt back here in Wichita, Kansas at All Things Barbecue. We got the Kamado Joes rolling. We're gonna do some fun videos. You know, it's the holiday season, so I'm thinking turkey. We got this great butterball turkey. We're gonna inject it with some butter. You know, a lot of people think there's already butter in a butterball turkey. There's not, but we're gonna put a pound in this and we're gonna spatchcock it. We're gonna put a little bit of this amazing seasoning on it. It's a Cattleman's Grill Ranchero seasoning. We're gonna put that on the outside and on the inside once we spatchcocked it. Lay that on top of a beautiful rustic root roast with turnips and these gorgeous carrots that we've got, parsnips, beets, all kinds of beautiful aromatic seasonings, and then we're going to actually make a cherry sauce to go on top of this. So we're going to throw everything on the Kamado Joe. Let's get it going. So we've got about a 10-pound turkey, and I find that the best way to cook these things on the Kamado Joe is to spatchcock it. So first thing I do is kind of open up this skin flap, and the wishbone is right here, which is essentially the collarbone. Now we're going to want to take that out so this thing can open up completely, because if you leave that in there, there's still room for air to get underneath. So I just take my knife and put a little slit on either side, and then I'm able to get my fingers underneath that bone, and I'll break it right up here. Right up here. And you don't need to get that out in one piece, but if you got kids around, you know they love to do it. They love to break that thing off and make a wish. So let's see if we're lucky today. Nope, I snapped it, but that's okay. All right, so our wishbone is out. Next thing we're going to do is stand the bird up. And I like to stand the bird up away from me. And what we're doing, we're spatchcocking. Essentially, we're just cutting out the backbone, which is going to be here and here. I like to put the knife inside the cavity. Again, the bird is facing away from you. I've got good grip on my knife here. And we're just going to go straight in, and I'm just going to go right down. And you can see what we did. We just opened that right up, okay? Notice I've got a towel underneath. That's just to kind of collect some of these juices as well as stop this from sliding around. I'll take the knife and just pop it right there. Get a nice crack, okay? Here's the other. So we split on this side. Now we need to take our knife and chop this out. Once I get to this point, boom, just slice it. And that'll make some amazing stock right there, okay? You want to take out the liver as well, but we'll do that later on. So you want to get these kidneys out of here because they're going to add a little bit of bitterness. So any of those things that you can clean up, now's the time to do that, okay? Next thing we're going to do is kind of knock these off. So I take a knife and just break that off. Slice right through. What's going to happen is this is going to start to pull back and we'll have a really nice French bone here. Again, the heel of your knife, and that's what we need. So now we're going to sneak underneath the skin. You don't want to penetrate the skin, and we're just going to delve this needle in here, and we're going to pump some butter into this bird. A lot of folks will use Bird Boost or something like that that'll have some phosphates that'll retain moisture. This is such a quick cook though. I find that just a little bit of butter goes a long way. We'll pump a little bit into those wings. And again, I'm just kind of lifting that up. 1, 2, 3, find another home. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, this is about a 10-pound bird. We're putting a little over a pound of butter in here. Next, we're going to sneak into the thigh region. I just kind of sneak in right there, and you just come straight in, easy peasy. Just sneak that needle right in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now for the next one. All right. So one thing whenever you're injecting that you want to remember is, we've taken this, drawn the butter or whatever our liquid might be, stuck it in the bird, pulled it out, put it back in the butter. At this point, every single thing that you have in here has the possibility of having salmonella in it. So just because you have a little bit of butter left over doesn't mean that you can use it in something else later on. So I'm actually going to take this little bit of butter that we've got left over, and I'm going to put a little bit on my glove, and I'm going to start painting the outside of the bird. Let's flip this bird. I always like to season the inside of the bird first, because this isn't going to be the presentation side. We want to do the presentation side last. So we've got this nice and buttered up. Now let's take some of our Cattleman's Grill Ranchero seasoning and just season from above. Notice I'm not seasoning directly on there. You want to let gravity kind of help you out and pull those granules. This is a labor of love. There's something about the majesty of a bird that brings a family together. And for some families, it might just be the one time that everybody sits around the table, but the bird is the centerpiece. So whatever you're doing, do it with love. Happy people make happy food. All right, we'll flip this. Again, a little bit more butter on the outside. I'm going to take these little wings here and I'm going to kind of give a little half Nelson, right? Pull it back just like that. Pull it back just like that. And we've got this nice and buttered. Here comes the seasoning. Don't forget to get in here just a little bit. Okay? I see people sometimes trimming this off. Remember, as this cooks, it's going to shrink up, so leave as much skin as you can. The seasoning just smells wonderful. I'm getting strong garlic, strong salt, really nice aromatics in here. And that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful bird. So we've got our turkey spatchcocked and injected with butter and seasoned up beautifully. Now it's time for the rustic root roast. So we've got kind of a melange of things here. You can imagine just this bed of aromatic vegetables and thyme and rosemary and a little bit of bacon in there to provide fat content and a little salinity as well, a little saltiness. So let's go ahead and get these carrots trimmed up, mixed up with those amazing vegetables, and we'll get this root roast and this turkey on the Kamado Joe. Little angle. And that's perfect. We don't want them much smaller than that. Just kind of line them all up. Now we're going to take them and put them on our board. Got the bacon here. Just kind of mix that up a little bit. I also threw some garlic cloves in here, so just really, really bright colors, bright flavors. And let's get a little seasoning on that as well. So after this, we're going to put the turkey right on top. You can imagine as that turkey's roasting, the drippings are coming down, everything's happening underneath that bird. There's going to be some steam action going on. You know, a lot of times I absolutely love turkey, but these vegetables can be the star of the show as well. All right, so we got our beautiful, beautiful bird. We've got an amazing root roast. Now is the fun part. We're just going to lift this bird ever so gently, sit it right on top of the root roast. And here's where you want to shape the bird, because whatever shape you put it in is the shape you're going to get out. So I like to karate chop right here. Remember, we've got the half Nelson going on right there. And that's us. So check this out. Beautiful things are happening. We haven't even started cooking and we're already winning. All right. The Kamado Joe is set at about 325 degrees. You could bump up to 350 if you wanted to. The spatchcock really allows us to cook this thing a little bit quicker. We've taken out that big cavity, we've flattened it out, given it more surface area, and really seasoned this thing up. So let's go ahead and get it on. First, let's talk about how we've got the charcoal set up in the grill, and we've also got to get our cherry in there so it starts smoking. So you can see how we've got all the charcoal banked to one end, one side. So this method of pushing the coals